Come on in, you guys. It's day number 127 of my 365-day Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge. As you may or may not know, I have been getting into an ice bath every single day all throughout the year 2022. This is the Marasco Forge, by the way, and it makes its own ice, has a filtration system, really nice little unit that makes doing an ice bath very convenient. So I've been getting in there as a challenge every single day in the year 2022. The only exceptions is when I've traveled, I've had to use cold showers, but otherwise, I've been in the Marasco Forge, and I have made it a goal to get it as close to 32 degrees Fahrenheit as possible, and to do it for 5 minutes a day. And so here we are 127 days in, and we're still doing it. And so I'm excited about continuing this. You guys have been so great with all your comments, all your questions, and as always, please leave them below if you have any comments, questions, want to interact with me on this. I feel like this is something almost everybody could do, but almost nobody does do because of a lot of the things that you think about it. And I'll tell you, I've been getting a very strong contingent lately that's just like adamant they're not doing this. And if that's you and you're just like, no way, Jose, I would never, you're not even giving it a chance. And what I want to talk about when I get in there today is you need time and you need consistency to adapt to the cold in order to do this on a regular basis. So if you're not putting in the time, putting in the consistency, and constantly working your way down in the temperature, then you're not doing it. You can't just get in once or twice and say, oh, that was horrible, and then never do it again. No, that's stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. So I want to tell you something that happened with the Marasco Forge. So this is the company that I use, this little device here. I ordered it last year. It came in somewhere around, I think, late November, early December. And it's been wonderful. I have been using this all year long for my ice bath, and it's a great unit. As you can see, there's some ice in the water now. This is ice that it makes, and it's wonderful. You can even see at the bottom of the water that there is new ice forming. I actually had a hammer out here trying to break it up, but sometimes it doesn't want to break up. So, but I had a component on this thing stop working. So there's a filtration button right here that you're supposed to be able to push it, and it starts filtering the water. And then I had a leak in here where I was losing water out of this little part here, had gotten loose. And so lots of fun stuff. So the leak actually drained some of the water. So I had to use the hose to refill it about 3 hours ago when I noticed it was super low. It's like, I don't want to do an ice bath if the water is low. So what that did is it raised the temperature of the water. So today, rather than around 32, it's exactly 34 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, Mike, that is still very cold. That will still get the job done to give me cold therapy. But I wanted to have full disclosure as to why that temperature is so cold. And it's also why there's not a lot of ice in here. When I refilled it with the water from the hose, it melted a lot of the ice that was in there. So a little disappointed in that because I was hoping to have more ice already. But the Marasco people, they're wonderful. They're taking care of me. They're going to send a technician out on sometime this next week to take a look at that component with the filtration system and just take a look at the unit in all and make sure it's running in tip-top shape. But it's run very well for me all year, so I have every confidence that it will continue to run well. All right, time for me to get into the ice bath, and I definitely want to talk about that topic that I mentioned a moment ago. So let's set this down, tilt you down so you can see all the action in there. Hope you guys are having a great time. As always, I'm not live in the month of May. I am away working on my new book on cold therapy clarity, and so I'm recording these and uploading them to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course Instagrams. Go follow me over on Instagram at Livin' Low Carb Man. All right, 5 minutes are on the clock, you guys, and here we go. By the way, my shoulder is still sore from the massage, but the original pain for why I went to get the massage is a lot better. So here's hoping that we get the kinks worked out in my shoulder so I can start lifting heavy again. All right, you guys, so yeah, I am just continuing to be amazed by how many people just outright dismiss this without really even looking into it. To me, that's intellectually dishonest. Obviously, if you just look at somebody like myself, and of course it's not as visually stunning as it normally is without all the ice in here, but it's plenty cold, trust me, 34 degrees, still damn cold. But so many people go, wow, that looks painful, that looks horrible, no thanks, and then they just dismiss cold therapy altogether. And I'm always just flabbergasted because I tell them, look, this is not me starting day one getting into this cold of a temperature. Day one, I started in a warm shower 3 years ago. And I feel like we like to put things in such a box. We like to make it very convenient for us to say no to things that could be helpful. And for the life of me, I don't understand that, especially knowing what I know now for myself, how amazing this has been for me. And it has been. And so I've been sharing quite openly about all the various benefits, primarily for me, the mental health benefits, the mental resilience, the brain health benefits, the sleep benefits, all of those things very quantifiable for me. And I didn't get to here without starting with those warm showers. And so the message I'm trying to send in this video is be consistent, give it time, work your way slowly. Like, this is not a race to see who can get the coldest the longest. It never is. It's about doing what you can where you are and just building your way up. Look, think about going to the gym for the first time. You got all these big buffy guys and you go in there and you kind of go, well, I can't compete with them. Well, no, because you're not on their level. You start with your level, which means if it's 10-pound dumbbells, you do 10-pound dumbbells and you start there. I think we so much try to do the comparison thing that we psych ourselves out of doing anything. And that's not helpful for any of us. Do something. You can start cold therapy somewhere. Somewhere in your life, you can make it happen. If it means warm showers, then so be it. You add warm at the end of your hot shower, just turn it down to the warm and get acclimated to that. And then just slowly work your way down. That's what Jimmy did 3 years ago, and look at me now. I'm 30 seconds away from being in 34-degree temperature ice bath for 5 minutes. Pretty darn awesome, you guys. All right, we're coming up at the end here. Let me go under. That is a lovely feeling. Yes, so time, consistency, methodicalness. Don't psych yourself out of something good before you even get started. I'm trying to like compare it to something, but it seems so familiar the way people quickly dismiss cold therapy. It literally is like the gym. People go to the gym one time, they try to lift heavy, and they get very sore from the heavy. And they're just like, nah, I'm not doing that again. Well, you don't stay sore. You're not going to have that same soreness every time. Yeah, you're sore at first because it's something new. It's something you got to kind of get acclimated to. Maybe start lighter weight and work your way heavier and heavier, just like you start warmer temperature and work your way cooler and cooler. I don't understand why it's hard. And same with like fasting. You don't start extended fasting for a week. No, you try to get a fast in of 12 hours. That's a good start. And then you move it to 16, and then you move it to 18, you move it to 20, and then 24. You work your way to these levels. You don't start at the advanced level. Why we think you need to is so interesting to me. Why do people have this notion that they have to be all the way at the very advanced level of things before they're able to do things? That's not the way the world works. We're not going to send kids in Little League baseball to the major leagues. Why? Because they're not ready. They need to develop. They need to adapt their bodies to the game. They need to create the skills. And then they get to the level someday where they're going to be able to do that. And then they do it. And it's the same with an ice bath. You start where you can, work your way up, start in T-ball, getting in a very warm shower, just start in T-ball. And the key with the cold is to make it uncomfortable but doable. I'm going to keep repeating that phrase. The cold should be uncomfortable but doable. So if uncomfortable is 75 degrees and you're able to do 75 degrees and stay in there for at least 2 minutes, then you got it. Do that. Now, make sure it's truly uncomfortable. Don't just tell yourself, oh, this is, and it's not really. You know, the only person you're robbing when you do that is yourself anyway. So trust yourself that you're going to be honest with yourself. But also don't go the other direction. Don't make it so intolerable that it's so uncomfortable that you can't do more than 30 seconds without getting out. If you have to jump out in 30 seconds, okay, you got a little bit of benefit doing that, but try to go for 2 minutes. An effective cold temperature, you should be able to handle for at least 2 minutes. If you can't, then back down on the cold until you can do 2 minutes. That should be your litmus test. Uncomfortable, doable, for 2 minutes. Can you do that? If you do that, then you slowly will build up this tolerance to the point, like Jimmy, of being able to get into very frigid waters. And I do it for 5 minutes. I could probably have gone longer. And it's a cool feeling when you get to that point. But it came with not just a few days or weeks or months, but years of practice. I have acclimated myself to this point 3 years in that I'm able to do this now. So give yourself some grace. Don't feel like you have to rush to get to the ice bath. Look, I'll be proud of you the day that you're able to get into an ice bath and handle it just fine. But there's no shame in starting in the shower. There's no shame in doing things that are less cold than what I'm doing. But just know that someday, if you keep at it and you're consistent and you keep doing this and giving your body that exposure and getting in the right timing of this and the cold enough that's uncomfortable but doable for 2 minutes, at least 2 minutes, then you're going to find you're going to have great benefits happen very quickly. And the benefits are not just all the mental health stuff that I've talked about quite a bit, but there are physical health benefits as well. I'll be enumerating all these benefits in my book, Cold Therapy Clarity, so you can see all the ways that exposing your body to cold temperatures does for you. And it's a lot, guys. Will it do it for everyone? No, not necessarily all the benefits for everybody. I've talked very openly about one of the benefits that this is supposed to help with is fat loss, and that it has not manifested that in me. What it has done, though, regarding fat for me, that I can almost guarantee has happened, is my brown fat activation, which I've talked about being in the upper part of your shoulders and into the neck area. That there's like the upper back. That is where the brown fat starts to get activated. And so when you get exposed to cold, that activates. Well, what does the brown fat do? It recruits the white fat, in other words, the stored body fat in your belly, for example, to turn into beige fat on its way to brown fat. And so the long game, yes, this should help with fat loss. If you're trying to use cold therapy as a fat loss tool in the short term, it's probably not going to be that effective. Of course, nutrition plays a role, exercise plays a role, sleep, stress management, all the things that you always hear about, they still matter. This is just an adjunct to all of those things. But the overriding message I wanted to leave with you guys here today in day number 127 of my 365-day Jimmy Ice Bath Challenge is you got this. You just got to give it time. You got to give it patience. And over time and over that methodicalness of getting it colder and colder, longer and longer, and being exposed to the cold, you will find that this becomes easier and easier so that you can do it. And one day you'll be able to handle that 32 degrees Fahrenheit ice bath like Jimmy does. All right, guys, let me pop off of here for now. I hope you've been having a great weekend so far. I am still away throughout the month of May. I will not be going live with these ice bath videos, but I am recording these. I know a lot of you are upset that I'm not live, but thank you for honoring my need to be able to do these offline so I can save some time to get back to the book writing process. I've been relaxing a little bit today, mainly because my shoulder that had the massage was in such pain. I needed to just relax, and I've been doing that quite a bit. So hitting the book hot and heavy, really excited to make that resource for you guys. And with a goal to have it come out later this year. As always, if you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or on Instagram, go follow me over on Instagram at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. And when I come back in June live, you'll be able to see all of my videos live. You'll be able to see them there first as I instigate them from Instagram Live. And so in the meantime, enjoy the uploads that I do offline. I've enjoyed making these like 20-minute videos for you guys while I've been away. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, guys.